Hello again. So yesterday I poured some molds and I actually have demolded most of them. Wanted to show you some color samples real quick of what I did yesterday. So yesterday, this is one of the color samples that I did. White background, black background. This is the Mauve Magic Peacock series. We also have that one. Trying to get through these real quick, and you'll see some of them when they are done don't really have an effect on the black. That one has a greenish tint to it. That one was Tally Me Bananas. This one was one of the glow-in-the-darks. And that one is Frosty Pearl on a white and black background. So today I actually have 12 more colors ready to go. This one was my Mauve Rose that I did yesterday. So I dusted the rose mold with Mauve Magic Peacock and then put white and black resin in. And then I have another rose that I did yesterday. So sometimes they're a little difficult to get out. And that is the gold one. That one looks pretty cool with the white and black and the gold shimmer on there. And then this one was the peacock, or the peony. I did mauve on this one also. Trying to get it off, get it out without putting it over my other molds. But look at that. That is so pretty. All right, so today I have 12 more color samples. Since I know that I'm going to have some black and white left over, I have another rose mold that I've already dusted with my green Magic Peacock from yesterday. I have some more colors down here, and I'm going to pour the Christmas star today. So I've already mixed up my resin, so then it won't take as long for me to pour these. So I'm just mixing it up again. And as a reminder from yesterday, what I did was mix it, put 50 ml of the resin, 50 ml of the hardener, then I put about 4 or 5 drops of black acrylic paint. Make sure that it's mixed up really well and scrape, because you want to make sure that all of the parts are mixed in. If you don't have all the parts mixed in and it's not hardening, I mean, all the molds that I just demolded have been sitting there for about a little bit less than 24 hours. So if it's not hard within 24 hours, your mixture might be off. And not all resin is mixed 1-to-1 ratio. There's some out there that are 2 parts to 1 part. You'll just have to find the one that works best for you. So I'm going to pour just like I did yesterday. I'm not filling it up quite yet. I'm just pouring enough in there for it to go and start spreading. And today in my molds, I actually have 4 colors from the Magic Peacock series. So tomorrow, when I unmold the color samples, I will have at least 4 of them that definitely change color depending on whether it's on white or black. I only have a few more jars of mica that I have on hand left, and then I will be doing samples of my alcohol inks and of my glitter. Those will be done with clear resin. So, all right, now I'm gonna try to coax some of these to the edges all the way. Just making sure that my mold is completely covered. And actually, that did a pretty good job. So now I have my white, mixed it just like I did my black. I did 50 ml of the resin, 50 ml of hardener, and about 4 or 5 drops of white acrylic paint. And then again, I made sure to mix it really well. I'm stirring it again because when I have noticed when I add white acrylic paint to my resin, if I let it sit too long, the white tends to sink to the bottom. Not sure why it does that more so than with the black, but it does. So we're gonna pour these. And remember, I have in each of these a different color. So I'm gonna have 2 mold or 2 geodes that come out with one color, but one's going to be on a black background and one is going to be on a white background. Again, I do that to show the color difference, because if somebody wants a dark piece and they want, say, a glow or a neon color, since I know that those do not show up very well on a black background, I'm going to want to show them what it looks like. Again, with if someone wanted like a blue, but they didn't want it very, very dark, or they wanted like a more of a white with a bluish tint, I could use my Magic Peacock series on the white with the white resin, or on a white background, but it would give just a hint of blue. I don't know if I've made enough today for the, we will see. But since the Magic Peacock Sky Blue will give a hint of a blue when then I know that I can use that. All right, so that is my geodes. Whoa, gonna spritz with alcohol. Yesterday I showed you how to use the torch. If you spritz with alcohol, it also will help pop any bubbles that may come up. When I say spritz, it's just a light spritz. You don't want to sit there and pump it and make it to where there's too much alcohol. So now I am going to try and use the rest of my black and white in this rose mold. This one may be more of a black rose than a white one, but again, that is okay. Yesterday I had one of the roses, sorry, one of the roses that turned out a little bit lighter. So it is definitely okay to have one that might have a little bit more black in it. Just got a tickle in my throat. So now with my white, I did not have very much of it left over this time. So we will try to use as much as we can, or scrape as much as we can off of the sides. So that we can fill the mold up. And so I'm going to kind of give that a little jiggle to get it down in those little crevices all the way at the bottom of the mold. And release any air bubbles that may be down there. And then I'm going to spritz with some alcohol. Okay. Ooh, that one kind of moved. And then we're going to just do that again. Start layering the blacks in. And then we'll layer some more white. And we'll just keep on doing that until it's completely full. And then we'll move on to my Christmas star. All right. So gonna add a little bit more white over on this area. And then I'm gonna try and scrape some off. So now my white is all gone. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. Get it down into some of those crevices some more. Spritz it with alcohol. We're gonna fill the rest of it up with some black. So like I said, this one's going to be a little bit more of a black rose, black background, which is fine with me. Just trying to get as much in there. Try to fill it up as much as possible. Don't want it to overflow. But we also want it to be as full as we can get it. So now the black is all gone. Release some more of those bubbles. And you can kind of see that there's starting to be a green shimmer in there. So we're going to spritz it. And those bubbles have disappeared. All right. Now, so I wanted to try a new mold today, and I wasn't sure until I actually came down here and started to play around what one I wanted to do. So I decided to do my Christmas star. Hopefully you guys can see it over there. We'll try to shimmy these on over. So there's my Christmas star. So I have some micas mixed in with my resin here. And these are actually glow in the dark. Okay. So I did about 12.5 ml resin to 12.5 ml of hardener. I put, when I measured it about to here with my mica, and I did that about twice. And then I spritzed it with some alcohol. Glow in the darks tend to mix better if you spritz it a little bit with alcohol first. That is something that I learned as I've been using micas in different ways. You don't have to, but it certainly helps. So I'm just gonna start kind of playing around. Don't really have a rhyme or reason for how I'm gonna really do this. So we're just gonna kind of drizzle it, and it looks like it might all kind of settle in one spot, which that's fine. So there's my orange. That one is called Taka or Taka. This one is another glow in the dark. And this one is called Keanu. Mixed it the same way as my orange. And you'll notice that these are not completely opaque. You can see through them a little bit. That is another thing with glow-in-the-darks. If you are wanting a solid glow-in-the-dark color, you will either need to use quite a bit of your mica color, your mica powder, or mix it in with another similar color. So if I were to, if I wanted to put this on, say, one of my cups, I would probably mix it in with my neon yellow that I have. And that would create more of a yellow base for it and make it be more of a solid yellow instead of a transparent, translucent yellow. So again, I'm just kind of drizzling, trying to get some different looks. And I used the fill it up with water method to figure out about how much resin I would need to make. And it was, when I did that, it looked like I was going to need about 120 to 150. I wasn't able to measure exactly how much, but it looked like I needed to have about 120 to 150 ml for that. All right, so now this one is Starlight. This one is more of a, you'll get more of a clear, again, and it will just have the normal colored glow. The ones that I have here, they glow the color that you see. So the Taka, the orange, will glow orange. The Keanu, that's yellow, will glow yellow. This is Starlight, so it will have just like, it looks like the normal glow color that you would find for most glow-in-the-dark stuff. So this one is going to have like a normal, we'll say, glow color to it. I don't really know how to describe that color. It's not quite white, it's not green, it just, we'll get some up in there. So this mold, I know yesterday when I showed it to you, I think this mold would look pretty cool if you had some fairy lights, like battery operated fairy lights that you could put in. I'm planning on buying some and testing that theory out. The fairy lights, they don't get hot as hot, I should say, as some other lights. So they should be okay to put inside of resin. When you're looking at adding lights to resin, you'll want to make sure that it doesn't get extremely hot, because it can cause your resin to melt and not cooperate like it should. Now I have my purple. This one is called Nocturnal. It is a really gorgeous purple. So we're gonna layer that in there. And some of these may start to kind of like mix together and make different colors, which that is fine. I didn't expect them to stay separated. So since this mold measured about between 120 to 150 mLs, I just made 6 cups of the different colors. Of 25 mLs each. So here is blue. This is Kona. Just want to make sure that it's all covered or all mixed in there really well, because it has sat for a minute. So just going to stir it and then start layering. So like I said, all these colors that I mixed in, they are glow in the dark, except for one. My last cup here is not a glow in the dark, but it is, I mixed it to kind of give a shimmer to the star. So just to give it a little bit more. The glow in the darks do not have a shimmer. If you have a glitter that you like that is a similar color, you can add it to glitter and make the glitter glow. If you have another mica color that is similar in color, you can add it to that. The only thing about glows is they're not great to use. They're not recommended to be used as in makeup or in soaps. Oh no. That's what I get for kind of holding it over that one. All right. So now this one is, you'll see it has kind of a pearl shimmer to it. This one is called Frosty Pearl. All right. So I'm gonna just kind of drizzle this one in. And I'm probably gonna actually do more like this. All right. So now I'm going to kind of give that a little jiggle, see if any of my bubbles will pop. And then I'm going to take my little spray bottle of alcohol and just do it like so. With this one I'm gonna torch it a little bit. I don't have my torch on for very high, so I'm just gonna torch all these real quick. I know that I sprayed them with alcohol, but I'm having some other bubbles kind of rise up and being little buggers to pop with the alcohol. All right, so now I'm gonna do the same thing. Gonna layer some more blue in, and this time I'm gonna do go in reverse of what I did laying them down, just because I want to have different look. Not quite sure what I'll do with this one yet. Just wanted to really experiment with some of my other molds. Do some purple. Ooh, that was a lot. Again, it's like my purple wants to just kind of pool in one spot. And yesterday I told you guys my favorite color is purple, so I'm really starting to like how this looks. Kind of almost reminds me of tie-dye. Starlight. Starting to get kind of low on my Keanu. Gotta keep an eye on that side. I might just do this. Keep it like that. I think he's starting to get a little full. Taka. Sorry about that. Means I've got some kind of notification. And I am starting to notice that it does not seem quite level. So I am going to use that to help kind of get it to level back out. Let's see. Kind of feel like there's enough frosty pearl in there. Let's do a little bit more starlight. And then I think I might, let's get some over here. Kind of feel like it's all going this way now. Let me see. Gotta figure out if I have, well, let's try this guy out. Maybe that will help it. like I'm going on a scavenger hunt to find things that will help level this out. Let's see. All right. I think now it is starting to kind of be a little bit more level. Okay. Okay, gonna spritz it again. Let's see. Try and get some more of these balls popped. I think that's good on that. All right. So now we'll do this little dinosaur guy. We'll try to get rid of some of the extra resin on him. My kids love dinosaurs. My youngest really likes anything that glows, and he thinks glow in the dark is awesome. My youngest, or my oldest, has said, as he's grown up, I mean, he's a teenager now, so we'll see what he ends up doing. But my oldest has said that he wants to be like a paleontologist or an archaeologist, you know, find dinosaur bones and other things. Now that he's into gaming, he's been saying that he wants to be a gaming, like a game developer. I mean, he really likes coding and technology and everything, so that might be right up his alley. Let's see. I may need to find another somewhat shallow mold. see if I can. So remember, when you're using a torch, you don't want to get too close or have it get too hot, because it can burn your resin. It can burn your mold. Also, it will cause your, if you use a lot of it, or if you heat it up too much, it will make your resin super runny. So like if you're trying to get more of a work time out of it, you can probably get it a couple times with the torch to help get a good, get it good and flowing again. I can tell that with mine, the resin that I currently have mixed up, I'm starting to not have as long of a work time with it. So which that's fine. That's why I'm trying to figure out how, or get some, use up all the resin in some of my other molds. I know I don't have enough to do too much of a, too deep of a mold. This butterfly, I can already tell, is not level, and it's because of my mat. So I'm actually, we're gonna torch it, kind of give it a little movement. I may have to figure out how to clean my mat off of all the chunks, because I'm starting to lose some space. I know, where did it go? Where did he go? There he is. My little gnome guy. He is the most adorable thing. So I will use up the rest on him. Hopefully this will use up everything. I just love this mold. Oh, the train is going through town. Noisy train. We used to live on the tracks, and it would cause our entire house to shake. Glad we don't live on the tracks anymore. If it were to go through while I was doing a video, you wouldn't be able to hear me over it. Okay, stay. Don't really want to pick up cups off the floor that have resin in them. Okay, that's all of my purple. So now we'll do blue, and we'll see how much room we have left over to see if I can put the rest of my frosty pearl in him. It looks like I might have enough room. maybe not. So I may need to find something that I can just put some Frosty Pearl in. Alright, so I've got a little gnome dude. Squirt him with some alcohol because I can see bubbles in him. I am not very good at aiming this alcohol spritzer. Gonna have to clean everything up. Ooh, that was close. Alright, so moving him off to the side. Now what? What if let me paint this guy? I think that is enough to fill my cat. All right, we're doing pretty good on time. My husband, after I was off the camera yesterday, since I had some resin left over, he decided to make one of these little guys, and I should have brought it back down with me so I could show you, but it turned out awesome. Gonna use some outer space. This is like black. Well, it is black, but it has a little bit of shimmer to it. So we're gonna use those on the eyes. And a little bit goes a long way. So, since I'm getting close to the end here, remember to go ahead and like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you know of somebody that would enjoy watching this video, please share it with them. If you would like to see more videos, subscribe to my channel, and remember to hit the notification bell. And again, I will list all of where I got all of my goodies from, my molds, my resin. I I will list it in the description. So then you can, along with the links. So if you would like to try some of these out, you can. I also am on Instagram. I am on Facebook. Look for me with the name The Country Artisan. You should be able to find me pretty easily if you type in The Country Artisan. Again, I will put links up to my social media pages in the description so that you can find them easily. I also will be doing Twitch videos. I actually might be doing one today, and it will be my cups. So it will be something different. Most of my videos on Twitch will probably revolve around my cups. I might do a few cup tutorials on my YouTube channel. We will see about that. And let's see. So cups today, probably I have 4 new ones to start. I have 2 that I'm working on to finish up. One of them is really close. The other one I am still working on getting there. It's about halfway done, maybe a little bit more. That one will probably show up, and that fly is gonna land on one of my molds and get stuck in the resin. He's not gonna be very happy. I mean, the flies have been kind of bad lately. I think pretty much because it's almost like we're experiencing a second summer. Today here in Indiana, the high was projected to be 80 degrees. Yesterday it was like mid to high 70s. I mean, geez, what is that? We're in November. Shouldn't be having 80-degree weather in November in Indiana. So kind of crazy weather. Don't want to complain about it too much because I don't like snow. So I'd rather have warmer weather than snow. But unfortunately, snow is inevitable in Indiana. I'm really hoping that 2020 does not grant us, or bless us, I should say, with a horrible snowstorm. I know I'm probably jinxing it now, but we actually have had fairly decent winters for a while, so I'm sure we're about due for a hard one. It's actually probably been about 7 years. 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I would have been ending my first round. I would be about halfway through my first round of medication. So I went through 2 rounds of chemo with 2 different medications. I was diagnosed September 30th of 2013. I was only 30 years old when I was diagnosed. So one of the things I kept on hearing from multiple people was how young I was. Unfortunately, cancer does not care about age. So it just, it is what it is. I, within about, I would say probably within about 2-3 weeks, I had already had a port placed. I had started going through my chemo treatments. Thankfully, my chemo was not as hard on me as what I was told it would be. I was told about some really bad reactions that I could possibly have. So thankfully that didn't happen. We are probably nearing the anniversary of when about the time that I had to shave my head, because the chemo had caused my hair to start falling out, and actually it hurt to have hair. So while most people would try to hold on to their hair as long as they could, I couldn't sit and have in a couch. I couldn't sit in a car and have my head touch, or my hair, because it wasn't even actually my head, it was my hair. Every time it got touched, it hurt, to the point that I would be in tears. So I had a friend come over. She shaved my head for me while my husband sat there holding my hand. So I went through that. I actually celebrated my 31st birthday. My birthday is coming up in December. I celebrated my 31st birthday going through chemo. And this didn't fill up quite as much as I had expected it to. But oh well, we'll see how he turns out. I can't wait to see him. So my last round of chemo would have been in January. That January, we actually experienced a pretty big snowstorm, and it was not a fun snowstorm, because during that time I actually ended up with a blood clot in my carotid artery in my neck. I had to go into the ER to make sure, or to see if it was a clot. They found out that it was. I had to start medicine immediately. Because of the clot and where it was located, they had to remove my port, and I still had two chemo treatments. Unfortunately, with one of the medications that they put me on, I would have had to stop my chemo treatment. So they ended up taking me off of that drug so that I could finish my chemo, because they didn't know how it was. If I were to stop, they didn't know how it would be affected, how it would affect me, and how, if it would continue to work how it was working. So they took out the port. I had to finish up my chemo through IV. Once they started doing that, my second round of medication, chemo medication, I did have some issues with, so I had to be watched very closely while doing my chemo treatments. About a month after chemo, I had a bilateral mastectomy done. Thankfully, the chemo did what it was supposed to, and it shrank the tumor to the point where I could have surgery, and the doctors could be confident that they had gotten all of the cancer. And then about 8 weeks after my surgery, I had 32 rounds of radiation. That ended about the end of May. And then about 6 months later, I went through my reconstruction surgery. And I've been pretty much just in the clear since. My surgery actually, because the chemo worked so well and shrank the tumor like they had hoped, my actual surgery actually got all of the cancer, and I have been cancer free since that surgery. So yeah, during my surgery, I watched a lot of, or during that time, I watched a lot of YouTube and kind of started seeing people do like these tumblers and different things. So yeah, that's what got me into it. I crocheted some, made some scarves while I was kind of stuck on the couch and not able to do much. So I guess that's where I kind of came up with the idea of maybe making some handmade items that people can get for family members, and, you know, have it be handmade and unique and something that people will treasure. So, but so I will let you go, and we'll see you next time. So we'll talk to you later.